Hey YouTube, how you doing? This is the Highland Chef, and today we are making chicken pot pie. We will begin by making the mashed potatoes for the topping. We will need 3 Yukon potatoes, peeled and cut into large chunks. These will be boiled, starting in cold salted water, until they are tender. We will keep the potatoes on the stove until they are just tender enough to fall apart when pressed with a knife. We will add these potatoes to your favorite stand mixer before beating with the whip attachment and slowly incorporating our cold butter and cream which has just been brought to a simmer. We will whip these and season to taste until they are a nice fluffy consistency. Now we will prep the vegetables that will go in the stuffing. We will cut our carrots, celery, and onions into small dices that are just about the size of a pea. Next, cut each clove of garlic in half, and, using the back side of the knife, crush into a fine paste. Then, using the side of the knife, press the garlic into the cutting board. Now we will add our chicken to a heavy sauté pan. We will let it cook for several minutes on each side until it is a nice golden brown. Now we will make the roux that we will use to thicken our mixture later. In a new sauté pan, we will melt a 1/4 pound of butter. To this, we will add a 1/2 cup of flour and mix until smooth. We will leave this on the stove until it is bubbling and reaches a nice golden color. Now we will sweat our vegetables that will make up the filling. To our melted butter, we will add our onions, celery, and carrots. We will cook this for several minutes over medium heat until the vegetables become nice and tender. When the vegetables are fully cooked, it is time for us to add our garlic from earlier. We will mix this garlic into the vegetables and allow it to cook for a few minutes before we add the chicken, which has been cut into dices. Once the chicken is incorporated, we can deglaze with our white wine. For this recipe, I am using a Sauvignon Blanc. We will cook this over a high heat in order to burn off the majority of the alcohol. We will let the wine reduce by half before adding our chicken stock and returning back to a boil. Once the mixture has come back to a boil, it is time for us to mix in our roux. We will leave this on a high heat and mix continuously until it is thickened. Once the mixture has thickened, we will add our peas and season to taste. Finally, we will use our mixture to fill individual casserole dishes about 3/4 of the way. We will then top this with the mashed potatoes from earlier and toast it in the oven. We will leave this in the oven under the broiler just long enough to make the tops a beautiful golden brown.